Well, welcome to First Grapevine Methodist Church. We are so delighted that you are joining us this afternoon. I'm not quite sure if I should call it a bullpen, a Thanksgiving event, or getting ready for
clown
Advent.
show. I mean, look at the two people you have with you. I mean, you know.
No, I am excited about who's here today. Well, I am Dr. Keva Green. I'm one of the pastors here, and I have very, very special guest with me today. So I'll let y'all introduce, because no telling what kind of introductions either one of you will give.
Well, thank you, Paul, if you don't mind. I'm Vance Morton, and I'm very special because I'm one of two people that were in the building when it was time to actually do the recording today. So that if that makes me special,
I think there were three. So we did have to narrow it down.
Right. I'm also a member of the communications family here at First Grapevine.
I'm Paul Bielss, and you hear my voice sometimes, and Dr. Green said, we're having a camera on you this time, and so I had to have a camera, and she said, come on, let's do it, and so here I am.
Here we are.
Well, and I asked them because they were so much fun to work with in the first place, and they are incredibly creative, and some of the things they come up with, whether it's in the videos that they're doing or the writing that they're doing or just the way they handle the rest of us, it's just delightful. And so like you needed to really experience them. And often they're in the background. You know, they make the rest of us who are in the foreground look a little bit better. You know, they're always helping us and giving us the right ideas and making our voices sound better. And hopefully you're supposed to be helping with the video too, Paul. You're supposed to be taking out wrinkles and fixing
just to
things.
let you know, that video, we're not going to say what video it was, but the video that you sent me last week, I'm going to make sure that it goes somewhere. I don't know where yet. And it's a little tease, and it will be coming up in the next, I would say month, maybe 2 months, but I'm going to figure out how to work that in somewhere.
Oh, see, it's that blackmail that will that will get you. But
it's a nice video. It's just basically you won't believe what someone, we won't mention who, the only female in the room, did in this video, and it's kind of like, I would never do it. So, and many people want it, but she was having fun at it.
Yeah, and it wasn't sinful. It was just a fun adventure.
Yes.
So, yeah. But I have to tell you, working on this staff here at First Grapevine Methodist is just unbelievable. It is such a great group of people, and everyone works well together, and it's fun serving the Lord, but especially with such a great group.
I do want to point out that when we did have our staff development and when we went bowling, do y'all remember who won the bowling? Do y'all remember who that was?
I know it wasn't me,
was
so
it
I
Lucy?
don't really care.
Excuse me, it was me.
So it was you. Okay, forgive me. Oh,
right.
yeah, that's right. That's why that big trophy is over on his desk.
But the game, we only got to play one game because we had to keep putting the bumpers up for Paul, and that slowed it. But yeah, he never had a gutter ball. Way to go, big guy. Well, that's not true. We only put him up once.
Yeah, and he really was good at bowling.
He was, yes.
Yeah, but the rest of us, we were just getting warmed up.
We were.
We would have been a lot better had we played longer.
I think so. I think so. We'll go out again sometime when not during work hours and see how we do.
Yeah, and well, in fact, maybe we should try lots of different sports and activities and.
We're not going to do what the video did. I'm just saying. You can have all kinds of activities. We're just not doing that one. Okay, wait till you see this video.
Well, I'm super intrigued now. I think we should stop recording and let's go look at, because that's why I know what we're talking. I feel a little disadvantaged here, but I'm looking forward to its debut.
Well, I wanted to talk about several different things today, but one thing is often when we finish a sermon series, then we have a bullpen and we sit down and kind of talk about the sermon series that we just finished and what's coming up in the future. And we just finished a really fun sermon series.
It was, yeah.
It was called Knee High Theology, Lessons from the Kids' Table. And Zach's the one that came up with the title and so forth. But there were certain things that we really wanted to share with the church before we got into the Thanksgiving time, because Thanksgiving and Christmas are times of the families gathering together, and sometimes that can be kind of stressful. And so sometimes we need to remember some of those rules we learned as kids. And so do y'all remember what all of our topics were?
Say grace.
Say grace was the last one.
Play nice.
Play nice.
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
Then we had share.
Share.
And forgive or forgiveness. I don't remember if it was
Forgive.
forgive. Right. I liked it because it was so simple and just kind of like, what's that book? Everything you learn, you needed to know, you learned in kindergarten thing. I mean, sometimes we can make church really or too complex sometimes, like this or this, but kind of like I don't know how many rules are there there's like 630 laws for or something ridiculous like that, and then Jesus came and boiled it down to 2 or whatever, like just love yourself, love God and love yourself, love others like you love yourself. I think I got those right. We can edit that up, but so just boiling it down to just so simple. And I loved the videos.
I want to say this real quickly, and that is it takes a village. And what I mean by that is that y'all came up with the idea. I said, hey, why don't we, if we did like the old link letter, kids say the darndest things. And then Vance did an incredible set in his office, and then basically I recorded, and then y'all picked out where we were going to use, and it was definitely a village that took those videos to the next level.
Yeah, I think it was the forgive video where it was. I think that was my favorite of the ones, and I don't remember which one it was, but I'm paraphrasing, but it's, if somebody does you wrong, forgive them, and then just move on. And I was like, just let's get back to the game. I mean, we've only got 12 minutes of recess. We don't have time to yell and fight with each other.
Yeah, no. If only adults would act like that too. Let's, why waste more time, arguing and fighting?
Right, because just like we have a very short time to be here ultimately. So why do we waste all that time fighting and bickering over little things? Let's just get along and have more fun with it.
Yeah,
I thought that was really well done. And y'all's sermons were great, and it worked. Everything and the music. It was just a really well done series. I think all the series that we've done here have been interesting to me, but this one was fun-interesting. I had a good time with it and learned stuff. Or actually, I don't know how much I learned, but was reminded of like this is what's really important.
Yeah.
I thought that was neat.
Well, one of the things that I did this time that I kind of stretched myself is that. I found that Wink versus Sundown video, and I usually don't go up to y'all and say, "Hey, this will work in your sermon." And I came to you, Dr. Green, and said, I don't know if you want to use this or not, but here it is. And then I now have to have tissues in my office because it made her cry the first time she saw it. So,
and the second time.
And the second time.
Well, and I just thought that was amazing. And if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't seen it, then go to the end of the sermon for what they
traditionals. It would be the 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
And right at the end of the service, we just showed this powerful football clip from a high school playoff game, and it just touched your heart. I mean, it was so much fun to. And
most people understand that you see these videos, those type of videos all the time. But what made that one even more special was it was in the state playoffs, the Texas state playoffs, which means that didn't just go in the record book for that town. It went in the state records. And so this young man that usually doesn't even get to play got to score a touchdown in a playoff game in the state of Texas. That will be in the record books forever.
Yeah.
Which makes it one of the most important games in the world or universe.
That's right. Since
it's
happened
in
at high school.
High school football in Texas.
In Texas.
And for those that, because I've had this question several times, where is Wink? And I had to go look it up, but it's out near Midland.
Yeah. And Sundown, I think, is
out in that area.
Or maybe in the Panhandle or something. But like little towns, maybe less than 1,000. So,
well, it was still 11-man football, so it wasn't 7-man football. Okay. So it was still 11-man football, but so it's probably 1A, 2A kind of thing. So
But it was great, and it just fit in with the play nice and the share, and just that idea of, you love watching people do things just out of the kindness of their hearts. And something like that can be an incredible witness to other people. And so it was
Definitely.
it was a fun thing to include. So,
What was your favorite part of the summer series this time?
actually, I loved preaching about all the topics, but probably the forgiveness, the forgive sermon. I mean, that was one that I was looking forward to, mainly because I end up visiting with a lot of people, and I knew the pain that some families were going through just coming into all year long, but especially looking ahead to those times when everybody's going to get together and wondering how it's all going to work. And so I just felt like God was just kind of pressing on my heart if that was something I needed to really give some things that they could use in those relationships. And so it's interesting, when I start working on a sermon, often I don't know which direction it's going to go, and I just spend a lot of time in prayer, and it's fun watching God just kind of throw in things, and you go, oh yeah, that's a good one, or point you to examples. And so I think that was one that I enjoyed preaching, but I also got the biggest response from afterwards of people that wanted to come by and visit afterwards and talk about things, or had said, I sent that to so-and-so, hoping it would help them. And so that was probably my top one.
And you scared me on Sunday morning for the fact of we were going through your slides, and Corey Tenbun showed up in a second sermon in a row, and I thought, oh my goodness, we're using the same graphic that we had last week. And then you go, no, I'm doing it again. So that was really interesting and very insightful.
Well, and that was because when I had talked about Corey Ten Boom the week before, having to do with forgiveness, and just a powerful story of where she was willing to forgive one of the Nazi guards, that a member, one of the emails I'd received talked about how much they loved Corey Ten Boom, and brought up another story, and that story fit in perfect for, saying grace and being thankful, giving thanks in all circumstances, and even the fleas in the concentration camp. So, yeah, I knew that kind of shook you. You thought, oh no, she's really messed up on the slides again. So, but that's what makes it so much fun, working on sermons, or working on all the things that we have going on around here, is working well together and, having a good time doing it. So.
And not to jump ahead too far, but basically we are working on an Advent calendar that we will debut next Monday. Yeah. And so be sure you're looking out on social medias for that. But it will be a new devotion each day from the 1st through the 24th of December.
And it is a video devotional.
Yes.
So with all our different staff people. So you'll get to see Paul and Vance again. I mean, I know you get stuck seeing Zach and I quite a bit, but you get to see some of our other staff members that don't always show their faces. So we're glad to have y'all. So. And
if you like what I said, my name's Vance. If you don't, remember this is Paul. Send your complaints to Paul B.
That's right.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
But before we get to Advent, we have Thanksgiving.
Yay!
Woohoo! So, tell me your favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Oh well, it's football 100%. That's. I was thinking about Thanksgiving was always a family time for us, but it was not the big holiday. We're a big Christmas family. And my mom just loves Christmas. So really, Thanksgiving was the day to eat to get energized for the next 30 days, so you can get ready for that. And it was always intimate. We always kind of kept it with our family. Maybe we'd go to one of my grandparents, but it was never a big giant to do where we'd have lots of friends and family, come to the house or anything like that. But it always centered around football, and especially the Cowboys. And so that was our thing. We'd get out and play ball. My dad and I would go play catch, and while Mom was cooking. And yeah, so I mean, if you say Thanksgiving, I think of pigskin before I think of turkey feathers.
And Vance and I share a love of a football team this year, at least. Both of us are following UNT.
Is that right?
That's something.
Is that what? Is that their?
That's their symbol.
I don't know if I
yes.
made the. I don't think I have the young enough anymore to have the vocal cords to make the screech. But yeah, that's. But I'm new
it's
to
a talent.
Yeah, I'm new to it. My daughter's a freshman at North Texas. I don't bleed Kelly Green yet.
And they're the Eagles.
Eagles. That's correct.
Well, they're
Okay.
the mean green because I don't like to say the word
Oh.
Eagles because that applies to Philadelphia.
But
God loves them too, I guess.
UNT has their final home game on Friday.
And they've been doing extremely
They-
well.
It's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun, and there's a chance of us making the college football playoffs. I mean, some people say it's a good chance, some people say it's a small chance, but it's still a chance. So you say there's a chance.
Yeah. Well, since I'm an Aggie and we're
Hey,
doing
y'all having a great year
well,
too, huh?
I know. How about that?
Yeah.
How about those Aggies?
I know.
Yeah, y'all
So-
play a good one on Friday night too. So
We do. We
Could be.
do. It's always an exciting one. So
I'm really glad that game's back. I've missed the Texas A&M game. Yeah,
Yeah.
like none of my family went to either one of those schools, but it was always one of those things we would watch on was it Saturday? No, they used to play it on Thanksgiving
On Thanksgiving
Eve.
Eve,
Yes,
yeah.
back when I was a kid. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You'd watch the Cowboys. You'd have some more pie, and then the Longhorns and Aggies would come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was. So it's nice to have that the backyard brawl back together.
yeah. So all right. Well, so Paul, tell me about Thanksgiving for you.
I always say that I have a body built for radio and that's the reason that y'all don't like. I don't like y'all to put me on camera, but it can be pointed out that when I was younger, my brother's birthday was November the 22nd. And so that fell usually in the Thanksgiving holidays. Well, at some point, my brother said, "I don't want a cake for my birthday. I want my mother's sweet potato pie." Okay, and when you talk about my mother's sweet potato pie, I'm now diabetic too, and I can have this. I get Becky to bake it, and wouldn't build it because of all the sugar in it. About every third Thanksgiving because it has so much sugar. But we didn't have just one pie. My mother would bake literally between 10 and 15 of these pies. Okay. And then do the same thing in Christmas. But you didn't have a piece of pie. You had a quarter of the pie for breakfast. Ooh. You had a quarter of the pie for lunch. You had a quarter of the pie for dinner. And then when Becky and I got married, we went to her house, her parents' house, when we first got married, and they said, "Would you like a piece of pie?" And I got this little thing that was, I called it a sliver, and a piece of pie is a piece of pie. It's not just a little thing. So that's where this body comes from. It comes from that, from basically the
3/4 of a pie you would have in one day.
And it literally has, I think, 5 cups of sugar or something like that in the recipe.
That sounds fantastic.
It's amazing. And I don't eat pumpkin pie because of that. Because it just tastes different than the sweet potato pie.
Well, and see, sweet potato, it sounds like it's a vegetable. So,
Right.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
vegetable with lots of sugar.
Right. Sweet potato pie is superior to pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They're both orange. But once you've had a good sweet potato pie, there's no going back.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I agree
don't
with
know.
you.
My mother would make sweet potatoes with marshmallows on them.
Yeah, we would have that too. Yeah.
That was good too.
But football is also king in our house, and Patrick and his fiancee Cambria are hosting this year for the first time in their new house, and I'm understanding that like 20, 25 people are going to be there. And I haven't been around a lot of people like that for a long time, so I have to be on my best behavior.
For those of you just joining, Patrick is his son.
Sorry.
Yes, there you go. We will post his family tree at the just check in the link of the comments. You'll be able to follow along there.
Yes. And so we're going over to his house, but knowing Patrick, he'll have at least 2 TVs on games on Thursday. So
Cool.
What about you?
Well, Thanksgiving when growing up was lots of fun because my mother was a great cook. But I'll be honest, now that my kids are grown and we kind of scatter, and so we don't always get together on Thanksgiving Day just because we're moving around on different days. So we're actually celebrating next Tuesday afterwards. If there were after Thanksgiving food sales, then I'd be in shape. But I have little grandkids that aren't crazy about turkey. And actually in our house, when we get together, everybody likes breakfast foods. And so they want to get together and have sausage and bacon and waffles and omelets and, all those type of things. And so everybody gets in the kitchen at once and everybody's doing their thing. And so we have kind of a different Thanksgiving.
That sounds fun.
Then.
well, and going back to Cambria and Patrick, we're having hot dogs and hamburgers.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
And because
You
Patrick,
can do something different.
He and my daughter Pamela, they rebelled several years ago, and we haven't had turkey for Thanksgiving probably in a good 5 to 10 years.
Are they at least turkey dogs, or are they going to be?
They will be for me.
Okay, so there you go. So you get a little.
So I get a
You
little
can
bit,
little bit of
Yes,
tryptophan
yes,
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Good.
well, then you're going to sleep through the
Right.
football game.
Well,
So, yeah. Oh, cool. Well, all right. Well, moving after Thanksgiving, then this next Sunday is the first day of Advent.
Yep. Happy New Year.
Not quite, but
No,
you know,
it is. It's the start of the liturgical season. of the
yes,
year,
it
so
is. Yes, it is.
I get a lot of people with that one. That's
Yes.
So
Yeah, he's got a good point. He caught me off guard a little earlier with that. But he's right. It is the start of Advent and the start of
the church year.
Of the church year. So, Advent is the leading up to Christmas. It's the 4 weeks, including the 4 Sundays, that lead up to Christmas. And so it's a time of preparation. And so each Sunday is a special theme for that. So
And the first Sunday is going to be you preaching. Technically, you're going to be preaching one traditional and one contemporary.
right.
And then we're going to have
Mike Ramsdale. We're excited to have Reverend Mike Ramsdale back, and he will be preaching the 11 o'clock traditional service. So that will be wonderful to have him here. And I know in that service we have a harpist.
right. I think
Coming.
she's going to be at the 8:30 as well.
Right,
So
she'll
she'll
be-
be in. Yeah.
she'll be playing along with all of the hymns, and so basically, when Linda is playing, I believe she'll be playing.
Right. So
Yeah.
this is a real coup for Rebecca, our music director, to get her to come. And so that will be great.
Yeah,
And
we
I
get-
know the music in the contemporary service is always
Right.
wonderful with all of our bands. So
Yeah.
it should be 2 really good services.
Yeah,
And,
we have lots of good music planned
Yeah.
for Advent. I mean, you got the harpist, and then the 7th is just regular at church, but that evening or that afternoon is the
88th.
Is the 88th or 80th? Oh,
88th.
88th candlelighting thing concert, and then you got the cantata on the following Sunday, and then all the hymns. And I love all the hymns at Christmas anyway, or during the Advent season. They're always, they're fun to sing. You've been singing them all your life. You know them. And she's not going to break out Good King Wenceslas in the key of G
Why don't we
sharp
sing
or
that?
something,
Why don't we sing that more often?
to try to teach you something new. You're going to get to sing "Joy of the World," and you're going to get to sing "It Came Upon the Midnight Clear," and all the stuff you just look
Silent
forward to.
Night.
Yes,
Yeah.
So it's these are great. When you do you kind of answered a question I had for you earlier about, do you learn something when you preach? We always learn stuff from when you guys talk, but do you learn something? But I guess I'll ask it during times like Advent and Easter, when it's basic, you're preaching the same from the same stuff. Almost, it's the Christmas story. It's all that stuff. Where do you find the new in those scriptures that you've done? You've preached on your entire career. It's not like you can just pick something out of what's a book or one of those things that nobody's ever heard of. You're preaching Luke, right? Most likely. Where do you get the new out of that? Where does that come from?
Well, see, the neat thing is, the Bible is alive, and it even talks about that it's live and living and applying to your lives. And every time you go through the Bible, even if you've been through it over and over, you see something new. And that's what I love about it. And particularly my favorite part of preaching is it's not the standing up and talking in front of people. My favorite part of preaching is the time of preparation, of just reading the scriptures and going through it and looking for different things and praying about it and having God point out things that I go, whoa, this was always in there. This is the same Bible I've been reading all this time, but I've never seen that before. And so there's always something new. And I think it's because when we come to the Bible, we're reading through the lens of where we are at that point. And so for me, reading the Bible as a 20-year-old is a lot different than me reading it, when I had little kids, or even at this point where I have grandkids. It's seeing something different. And when you're aware of what's going on in the world and different things, they're just things that pop out to you and you relate to it. And so even if it is the same story, it's always just amazing. And it's the good news.
Right.
And so it moves in your life in powerful ways.
Well, and something you haven't touched on, and that is each time you do a sermon series, you have a different, and I hate to use the word theme, but a focus, if you will. And tell us what our focus is during Advent.
This coming into Advent, it's repeat the sounding joy, which is a line from Joy to the World.
Right.
But it's just recognizing that we get to repeat again and again the good news that God has given us, the sounding joy of Jesus Christ coming into the world as a tiny baby, and also recognizing that he will come again, in victory. But we have him in our lives, and so it's that joy. So.
And I'm going to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but every time I hear sounding joy, I still remember a choir director talking to us one time saying, you got to have the diphthong. And sounding joy is apparently a diphthong. Don't know what that means, but I just remember that.
Plus, it's a fun word to say.
It is.
Yeah, it
diphthong.
is. It is.
Yeah, it's fun, and it makes you sound smart. Or
Yes.
depends on maybe how you say it. Diphthong. See, the two. That just neither one work. But I like the focus this time because of everything going on. It'll do nothing but help for us to repeat the joy. I mean, you can't look at anything anymore without just getting beat up from one side or the other. I do social media a lot because it's part of my work, but I hardly am on it for fun anymore because I just can't take all the division that is out there. And I just love that this time of year is one of those times of year where we can all come together and people tend to be just a tad nicer, tad more joy-filled. So I'm glad that we're going to bang that gong, or bang that diphthong, and repeat that sounding joy. See, It's just fun to do. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good time, and I hope a lot of people come and hear it and maybe catch fire.
Yeah. And there's so many great God stories going on, all year long. But I agree. At Christmas, there's something special about being extra caring and watching out for each other, and
right.
I love this season.
And I don't know if y'all saw the announcement yesterday, but apparently Newsweek has named Grapevine the Christmas City of the Year or something
Christmas capital?
It's
something else.
Yeah, it's something along that same line, but it's not Christmas capital because I think that's a PR thing.
Oh, okay.
But I think that Newsweek actually said we are some award about Christmas. So
How cool
What
is
was the
that?
headline? No duh. I mean, come on, anybody that's even come through here is like, oh, they know how to do it up here.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
true. And that kicked off last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I've not heard the numbers, but I've seen the pictures, and I think the rain scared some, but it was still a lot of people on Main Street last night for the Carol of the Light.
Well, and there are so many things coming up in our fair city, every day, up till Christmas, and lots of cool things. And our church is 1 block off of
Right.
Main Street.
That's right.
So what a key place to be. You can come worship with us and experience the true meaning of Christmas, and then go enjoy and be a part of all the lights and all the other fun things going on.
Also, for the people listening, and also for traffic control, Main Street will be closed Friday through Sunday. I believe Friday through Sunday, but I think
so.
it's Friday morning through Sunday evening. So traffic flow will be totally different this year.
Yeah. So for those of you that are coming to church, just be aware of that. But we'll have a parking space for you to come and worship with us
Definitely.
and enjoy celebrating this season and celebrating our Lord together.
Now, before we get off, leave, basically the 28th. Tell us what's going to be happening on the 28th.
Well, 28th is a Sunday, and so we will have a combined service. We normally have 3 services. We normally have a 8:30 traditional service in our main sanctuary, and then at 11 o'clock we have 2 services, a traditional service in the main sanctuary and an 11 o'clock contemporary service in Founders Chapel. But on the 28th, the Sunday between Christmas and New Year's, will be our New Year's special. And so it'll be an opportunity for us to have all of the services together. It'll be 11 o'clock, just because that's when most people come. But it'll be 11 o'clock in the sanctuary, and it will be with some incredible music and just a time for our whole church to be together, and a chance for us to be talking about what's coming in the new year and celebrating all that God's given us and looking ahead.
And we don't want to forget that we have 5 Christmas Eve services.
Yeah, I was going to make sure I mention that, because
Yes.
that thing we do on the 21st, I think we're calling it the Travelers Christmas Eve this year. For first responders, people that are leaving, anybody that might have to work on their real Christmas Eve. I think it's a unique thing. I've been in church all my life, and it's the first time this was the first time I've heard of us doing something like that when I started being affiliated here at First Grapevine. So I thought that was a really good idea, and it was a good service. I went last year, and it was. It's neat. It's a night because it's full of a bunch of people that want to be there. Nobody's grandma drug them there on Christmas Eve. Like, you are coming or you're not opening anything. And it was a really good service. So if you've got if you've got to work on the 24th, you're going to be away from home, or you just have so much you can't even think about adding something else to your plate on that night, I would come. It is a really good night. 6 o'clock, I believe, when we do that one in Founders Chapel. Yeah, it's a.
So that's Sunday the 21st at 6 p.m. in Founders Chapel.
Right. And
Yes.
then on Christmas Eve, then we have 4 services. So we have a 2 o'clock family friendly, easy for you to say, easy service. That's wonderful time with all the kids.
And that's where you bring your kids, and even if they're crying all the time, it just adds to the service.
It
and
does.
It really does.
And Zach's wearing his footy pajamas. Or he is now. Because now I've said it on camera.
So now it has to. But it's a time for kids to put on the donkey ears or the wise man hat, or to dress up, and they kind of just en masse act out the nativity scene. And it's so precious with all the family and all the kids, and the children sing, and it's a beautiful service.
It is.
A loud service, a beautiful service. And then our 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock services are all communion services. Some of them with a different kind of communion, but a really special event. 5 and 8 are in the sanctuary. And then the 11 o'clock service will be in Founders Chapel. And it'll be a close service altogether, but also a communion service. So lots of amazing things going on. And those services are all so wonderful.
And basically, because Vance and I are both in the communication area, if you can't come to any of those services, be sure you're watching online.
That's true.
Because we are always online for any service that we have. So, join us there. And tell us that you're there by registering. We don't call it registering anymore. We call it taking attendance.
Taking attendance. Taking attendance. So, so you get to sign your attendance card.
Yes.
And we love to know that you're here. So thank you for those of you that are good at filling out the attendance card. It's great. We really do. That's one of my favorite things is getting all those cards and being able to go through and, flip through them and just say a prayer for each one. But there is a place for prayer requests, and so praying extra for those.
And those prayer requests are not just tossed in some basket. They're
actually prayed over, and then they go on a prayer list that, unless it's confidential and somebody says just for pastors only, but all the other prayer requests we list out and we share with our church, and it's just the names. It's not details. But
our amazing prayer team is also...
Yeah,
and we have it's a small but mighty team. It is. I mean, I've been pretty impressed with that group. It's not tiny. It's not just two or three people, but it's not like we have hundreds of folks on this team. But they are true. This is a praying church.
Yes.
This is a praying church, but these are some prayer warriors. I mean, they've got the full helmet and chest plate and all those that full armor of God on at all time. And so, I mean. Drop it in the comments, whatever, or put it on the form, whatever. Just don't be shy. Get it over here, and you'll be prayed for. And it's amazing what happens when you get prayed for.
Yeah,
that's another podcast. I'll tell that story all day long about my son, but not now. We don't have time. Now. There's a teaser. Not as good as this video thing we're gonna see someday, but it's still my tease. Is all I had.
Well, we need to do a podcast just on the power of prayer because, man, we can tell some amazing stories about how God moves, and there is power in prayer. So,
absolutely.
So we hope you'll join us. We've got some amazing services coming up and things that we'd love for you to be involved. And you're welcome to contact our church at any point. If there's something that we can help you with, or you just want to visit with someone, or whatever it might be, we're here for you. We want to share the Lord's love with everyone, and so we'd love for you to join us. So, anything?
If you're one of the people members listening or whatever here, I have noticed it's been a literal beehive of activity around here in the last week. There's been so many people getting the campus and the buildings ready and it's not just they're not just pulling out the same decorations they pulled out for 25 years, and sticking them up. We've got new things going up everywhere to fit the theme, and they've just been all over. And the campus transforms. We have new speakers out for some music. We have a selfie station. It's just the love that this church is pouring into this season and this campus is, and it's all for you. And even if people like one person that knew, they would just be thrilled to know that it affected you that way.
Just to let you know, there are 3 sheep right outside this door, right out here. And do you know that those 3 sheep, I found out, I don't know their names, but they have names, supposedly.
I'm not surprised.
They have names.
Right.
I was
That's
introduced.
how personally this group takes it. Yeah, so it's been pretty neat to see. So thank you to all those people that work, that just come up here and do it without even thinking about it. They just come up here because it's what they do.
I was told by someone that they were talking about that they needed to have something in the FLC done, some more decoration in the Family Life Center, yes. And they were presented with a PowerPoint presentation by this group saying, this is what we could do for you, and this is what we're going to do. So they don't just show up and start doing it. They have a plan to do it.
And they plan it for quite a while out.
Yes, they do. And they do a great job.
Well, I will have to tell you, as a pastor, I love this church because everyone jumps in. Everyone recognizes that God has blessed them and given them talents. And so whether it's the music or decorations or visiting, homes or, taking food to people, everyone recognizes that they need to serve the Lord, and it's so powerful. And so it's really a serving church.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that's great. So, well, all right. Anything else we need to share?
I don't think so.
Oh, I could go on and on. But
Oh yeah, we could. Yeah.
I mean, you've done put a microphone in front of me now, so goodness, this is why they don't put me in front of the camera.
Well, we'll invite you back for
But no,
another
I think
podcast.
I think we've squeezed enough out of this turnip, so we can.
Well, this has been fun, and thank y'all for letting me rope you into it, because
we
both of
appreciate it.
you are just such a delight to work with and to do a podcast with. So as we wrap it up, may you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. May you remember where your blessings come from, and may you enjoy your family and your friends, and may it be a glorious time. We give all the glory to God. Blessings to you.